No, I don't hate my father, and in a way, I'm afraid I will end up hating him if I'm around him too long. I don't agree with many of his beliefs. I've been so busy fighting him that I never considered how I'd feel if he wasn't around. All I thought about was being away from him, as far away as possible. His influence was stifling, and I feared I'd say something I didn't mean. Or even if I meant it in the heat of the moment, when bad things are said, they can never be unsaid. And that's why I left home, to preserve what was left of our relationship. But maybe I didn't do the right thing. The kettle whistles, the high-pitched sound snapping my attention to the present moment. The spout is too close to the window, causing clouds of steam to condense on the glass pane. Awesome. One more thing to clean. I pour hot water over the tea bag, leaving it to steep while I attack the window. But my mind is in turmoil and tears sting my eyes. So I throw the used cloth in the sink, grab my mug of tea and wander outside. Striding to the furthest corner of the yard, I take a seat on a bench under a willow tree. I take a deep breath and gaze toward the forest where Draven and I shared a magical night, expecting the view to cheer me up. But whereas I remember the foliage being a deep shade of emerald green, the leaves are gray, and the forest overall bleak and dreary. I take a sip of tea to lift my spirits. I swear I poured a spoon of sugar into my mug, but the tea is bitter. I put the mug down and turn my gaze to the Woodburn mansion. As I survey the imposing exterior, it's hard to remember how overwhelmed I felt when I arrived at the grand and stately house. It feels like so long ago, and so much has changed in a few short weeks. I was timid and afraid when I arrived, but now I feel like a different person. Home. The word feels loaded now. I thought I knew what that meant when I left my father's house, but it's taken on new meaning since meeting Draven. My home is wherever he is. I never want to leave him, and that certainly gives me the courage to stand up to my dad. The tears I held back in the kitchen resurface, stinging my eyes, and I glance at my phone. There are a dozen missed calls and messages from him. Waiting for him to call me again is the coward's way out. It's time to pull up my big girl panties and return his call, so I head back to my room. Draven's room is palatial, but my room is modest, and the plain surroundings suit me perfectly. I'll let Dad see enough to know I'm safe and comfortable, but no more than that. There's no telling what he'd do if he knew the Woodburns are wealthy.